What's been? It's your boy Awesome, and today in this TED Talk, I just want to talk about school. Alright, so I know man's been stressed lately, bro. Like I myself have been stressing about, school. We're in grade 12. You got to get good marks and all that. You got to get into a good school. Your parents been pressuring you, all that shit. If you don't get into a good school, you're going to fail in life, all that bullshit. Let me tell you, bro. It's not exactly true. It's not true. So, mans think that getting into a good university will change their life. Nah, that's not the case, bro. And let me tell you one important thing. A man who will be successful will be successful, bro. If you finna be successful, you finna be successful. Let me tell you that much, bro. So, the way to getting rich, bro, it's not through your day job. It's not through like school. It's not through only school. Like some people need school, some people don't need school. We'll get into that later. But the way to get rich, it's not only through your day job, bro. Like the guys who are actually rich as fuck, they have their own side hustles, they have their investments, they have all that shit. And it's not like if you go to a good school, you could have sick investments, and if you go to a shitty school, you have shitty investments. That's not how that shit works. You could have the same side hustles, the same investments in the worst school in Ontario as you can in the best school in the fucking world, bro. Like that shit doesn't matter. The only way that school will help someone is if they don't have that drive. They don't have that, that drive to be successful. And in order to be successful, in order to have all these side hustles, all that shit, you need to have that drive. But for someone who doesn't have that drive and someone who's only going to rely on their day job, yeah, sure. If you get into a shitty school, you might not get hired at a very good job. You might make, I don't know, like what the average, what is it, like 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100K. You might just make that much. But if you go to a really good school, you'll make upwards of 100K, 100K to 200K maybe. But the mans who actually have that drive, they're shooting for more than that anyway. They're shooting for more than that. Like 500K, a milli, even more than that. So, like, it doesn't really matter to them. So, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, have your goals. Have your dream set high for what school you want to go into. Because going into a good school, of course, it's very good still. But if you don't get into that school and you get into another school that's not as good, but it's still good, like you're chilling, bro. Like you don't have anything to worry about. You shouldn't stress. You shouldn't stress about it. And again, as long as you try your hardest, bro. Like I told you, most of your marks is about your drive. It's about like your work ethic. If you work hard, you'll get good marks. You might not get fucking 99 average, 97 average, because not everyone's built like that. That's okay, but you'll still do good. And also, what university you get into, if you tried your hardest, that university is a product of you trying your hardest. And that in itself is a big accomplishment. And you should be proud of that, bro. Like, you tried your hardest to get where you are. And it's not like you could have tried harder to get to someplace better. Like, you tried your hardest, and that's where you ended up. And, like, that's just the product of you trying your hardest. So you just gotta live with that. And you should be proud of yourself because you tried your hardest. And yo, another thing I want to say is that, yeah, everyone's stressing about school, stressing about, their marks, it's grade 12, but what people don't actually realize is that they don't take a moment out of their day to actually observe the situation. Like, we're in the 12th grade. It's our last year of high school. When else are you going to be surrounded by all these kids your age, like, in that high school environment? Like, granted, yeah, you are surrounded by people most of your age, but you're not really a kid anymore. Like, you're upwards of 18. You got a lot of responsibility and all that. As a high school kid, like, it's all jokes, bro. Like, you're just chilling. And yeah, I understand grade 12 is serious, but sometimes you just gotta take a few minutes of your day to actually like appreciate your high school, appreciate everything before it's all gone. Like in your math class or whatever class you're in. Just take a moment, bro. Look around, appreciate the class, appreciate your boys, and realize that, in a few months, this is not gonna be anymore. You won't have this shit anymore. Like, you won't have this environment anymore. And like, I'm sure you guys know, high school is different. High school is something else. and you only get it one time and in your whole fucking life, bro. In your whole life. Like, I know you mans here, people like 30 years old, 40 years old, and they talk about their high school experiences. They're like, oh, back in my day, back when I was in high school. So even when you're that old, high school is still something you still think about. Like, it's very, it's one of the key moments, I say, in your life, you know? Like, so, treat it like that. Like, you're in grade 12, yeah, like, there's bare stress. But still, like, observe the magnitude of the situation